Hello, everybody.
There you go. There.
Maybe I'll scare that little kid and shut up. We're gonna do a makeup here. This is Dirk. He was the truck zombie from Night of the Living Dead in 1990. I was on the makeup effects crew. My name is Jerry Goldblum. And he gets hit by a truck that Tony Todd was driving. He plays the character Ben. And he messes him all up. He goes flying in the air, breaks his back, his legs, and he's all punched up. So what we're gonna do, the makeup was fairly simple, but his body was all mangled, so they're gonna recreate that for photo op so you can get stick around and get your photo taken with him. We're gonna build the actual platform, stick him down in it, and we have his mangled legs and everything. So we're gonna do that. Back in the day, well, he smacked his head on this stupid thing over here and split his head open. So he's got some real blood there. And so it's screwing up my makeup continuity. It's ruined the whole effect. I'm gonna go home. So he had hair there. And I'm gonna, a little bit. So what I'm going to do is recreate that. I'm going to glue the hair on. That's probably going to take the longest. And then he just had some foundation on. He had some little prosthetic appliance over his nose. So we're going to do that. So it shouldn't take too long. So here we go.
So another thing too, there's going to be a photo op. If you guys haven't purchased the photo op yet, there's going to be somebody here in a little bit to actually be in the, I guess the appliance or the what the. Okay, so yeah, so the people have already bought the photo op. That's great. We're going to have somebody come over here and actually, if you want to get your picture taken as that smashed up truck zombie, we can take care of that.
I'm bleeding.
So, Dirk, I'll ask you some questions to get started while you're being made up, and then we'll take some questions from you folks.
Absolutely.
First, well, thank you for coming. This is the first time we've worked together and done a show. It's been a pleasure. Why don't you tell everybody how you got involved in Night of the Living Dead 90?
It was a total fluke. I was working in film production in Columbus. Some of you have heard this story. I was working in film production in Columbus, Ohio, when I was getting my master's degree in film production at Ohio State University back when they had a program. And we used to, the production companies I worked with used to hire Nick Scandria to come in from Pittsburgh. And Nick at that time had been working for years with George and wanted to be an assistant director. So he would come in and assistant direct these commercials that we worked on. And so we became really good friends over a few years. And then Nick was like all excited and nervous because he had his chance to become a Directors Guild assistant director on the remake of Night of the Living Dead. And so I graduated in early 1990, and I get this call. I was working for my dad at his office for a few months, doing accounting stuff and spreadsheet stuff, which he had no clue what to do. And the secretary told me, Dirk, Tom Savini's on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. I mean, yeah, right. There's no way. It's not Tom Savini. It's one of my buddies messing with me. And I get on the phone, Dirk, this is Tom Savini. You know who he is. And Nikki's been showing me these short films that you were in, and I really want you to be in my movie. You know that Nikki's working on this. And I said, yeah. He's like, when can you come over? I'm like, well, when do you need me? He goes, how about tomorrow? So I was in Ohio near Toledo, and I just got in the car the next morning and drove over. I went to the production trailer, and they had all the storyboards. It was just Nick and Tom in the trailer, and or the hut, or whatever it was. And they had all the storyboards all over. He goes, pick a zombie, any zombie. I'm like, which ones have the coolest deaths? And he's like pointing them all out to me. And I was like, ooh, this one looks fun. The zombie that gets hit by the truck. It wasn't called the truck zombie at that point. And I said, is there a stunt in this one? He said, yeah, like get hit by a truck. Oh, we're not sure how we're gonna do it yet. We're gonna do it. And I was like, I want to do that one. He goes, well, to do that one, we're gonna need to do a head cast, a full head cast. So you need to go down and see Everett Burrell and John Bullock, who are doing the effects. So they gave me directions, and Nick's laughing the whole time. So they send me down there, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do a head cast. Cover your whole face in plaster, and just give you a little tube to breathe out. I'm like, okay. And then you gotta wait until it sets, right? It takes a while. So we did that, and that's when I first met Everett and John. And we did that, and I decided I was gonna stay. I got a hotel room, and I was driving in Pittsburgh. Even in Pittsburgh at that time, I don't know if it's still that way, there was like two-way roads, and then they become one-way roads at a certain time. Is that still like that in Pittsburgh? Everybody know? Okay, so I didn't know that, and I ended up totaling my car in a car accident that night. And went to the hospital. I was fine. The police told me you should go just for legal purposes. So I went, I was fine, stayed at the hotel, went home. A few weeks later, I came back and did the shoot. I was only on the shoot for 2 days, but it was an absolute blast. So that's how it happened. Just because I knew the guy who was the assistant director at the time. And Nick, since if you guys aren't familiar, Nicholas Mastandrea has gone on to be a DGA or assistant director on huge, big time Hollywood. Has done films for Oliver Stone, big time Hollywood assistant director. So that's how I. Other questions? Since Jim's not asking them anymore, so we'll have you guys go ahead. No.
No, I have more questions. So, you get into this role. Did anybody tell you were going to flip over a car or anything, flip over the truck, anything like that?
Well, they weren't quite sure how they were going to do it. They knew I'd probably have to jump off the truck at some point. Weren't quite sure until I got to set, and then we went over it. And I had no problem doing that.
So explain the workings of that scene. Like, how was it decided, to put that scene together? Where you're walking up the hill.
Yeah.
The dummy's going to get hit by the truck, and then you're going to flip over.
Yeah.
Explain how it was constructed and put together.
So they did the head cast, and they put that on a dummy and had it strung up with strings beside the road. That's what's holding it up. And the truck was just going to come down and whale that thing, and it did. It wailed like flew apart, really. The head flew off and everything, but they cut, and what we did was they drove the truck backwards, real fast. Drove the truck backwards, and I was on top of the truck, and I had to slide down the front and then kind of twist and go off like this, as if I had been standing on the road and got hit.
And that's with the camera inside the truck filming through the windshield.
Yeah. And so we did that a couple times, and then they just ran that backwards and sped it up a little bit for the film. And then it cuts to a shot where I was actually standing on the edge of the back of the truck with my hands on the cab. And it goes cruising down, and at one point when Tom yelled, I just left off the truck, tumbled into the yard, and that's when it then later cuts to me laying there, all busted up.
And over the years since, so it's what now,
32 years. Yeah.
Over the years, how many times have you been recognized as the truck zombie in Night of the Living Dead 1990?
Maybe 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, maybe 3
Was
times.
I one of those times when I contacted you about?
No, you weren't. That was.
So I was the 4th
This
time.
was in the wild. People just coming up. Were you the trucks? Were you in Night of the Living Dead? Which is really weird.
So we have some questions from. Come on, you definitely have some questions. Don't make him mad. He's gonna get mad.
No, it's okay. So I'll just tell stories. So when I came over, since I was a buddy of Nick's at the time, it was a 2-day shoot. So I stayed here for 2 nights, and I just crashed on the floor at Nick's house, at Nick's apartment, for 2 days, and we did the shoot, and I had to have we're not going to do them tonight, but I had these really milky contact lenses put in my eyes, and I couldn't see. Right. So I would have somebody who would lead me around and lead me over to where I needed to be during the shoot, and they didn't even let me take them off. There's nobody around. I mean, John and Everett were so busy that I had to wear them through lunch, so I could just kind of eat by feel. And that was fun. But it was one of the most fun shoots I ever did. And since nobody's asked, we did that effect of me lying on the ground. They dug a big hole in the ground and put 2x4 plywood and turf over it. And down in that hole, and I need to ask Everett, I can't remember who was in that hole. It was a big hole. But there was somebody in that hole moving sticks to make those fake legs twitch. So from here down, I was in the hole. We're going to do it again. Some poor PA or sucker had to be in that hole twitching those things during those. But during that shoot, when we're shooting that scene, in the film, you can see my head, the top of my head, when Tony's doing the famous "goddamn you, goddamn all of you" thing. And you can see on screen how much Tony is spinning, right? So Tom was lying on the ground right next to me with his head down on the ground with his hand grabbing a hold of my arm so that he could pull me out of the way when Tony did the stab with the crowbar. So Tony would go through it, the camera would tilt up, somebody would tap Tom to let him know it's time, and Tom would pull me out of the way, and I couldn't see. So I was like, I'm gonna have to trust you. Tony's not gonna stab me in the head with a crowbar. He's gonna pull me out of the way, and Tony's like, I'm not gonna stab you in the head with a crowbar. It's like, I don't know, method acting, you might get carried away. You're pretty intense in this scene. But Tony was so into it that he was just spitting mad. And so every time they'd yell cut, and Tom would pull me away and he'd stab, and they'd yell cut, Tom and I would both be laughing, wiping spit on our face. And Tony would laugh. And then we'd do it again and again. But, well, we did it. 2-3 times. It was a little much film, so you know you couldn't do too many takes. But that was fun.
And in a nice little continuity, nice little bit of continuity, you're one of the first zombies seen in the film, and then you also appear in the still photography at the end, the still montage on the bonfire. Now, was that you, or how was that?
That was, I had watched that film maybe 3 times before I realized that at the end, there's the bonfire, different cuts of the bonfire, and then there's my head. That was the rubber prosthetic head stuck on the bonfire, and George Romero's name comes out right over the shot of my head. I was like, yes. Yeah, so that was my rubber head burning on the fire.
Any questions?
The crowbar? I have no idea.
What happened to the actual crowbar?
I have no idea. Hopefully it's in somebody's collection. It was bought for a lot of money.
So how many times have you actually got back in the makeup and recreated the scene?
This is the first time ever.
I was hoping for that.
Yeah, this is the first time ever since then. I'm an author, so I go to a lot of conventions, and I do panels, and I do all kinds of things. And I've been to Fangoria conference. Okay, here's a story for you. I was in LA, it was probably 96, and I went to the Fangoria, one of the conventions. Have any of you ever been to those? Anybody raise their hand? No? They were huge in the 90s. They were freaking huge at these big convention centers. Not as big as Comic-Con San Diego, of course, but they were big. Sorry.
Hold your head still.
We have a question from the makeup artist. Hold your head. It's
Yeah,
from a comment.
that's not a question, that's an order. So I'm gonna hold my head still. So I was there with my buddy, and we were walking through the Fangoria conference. This was, 95, 96, something like that, maybe 97. So I lived out there for 6 years, 94, 2000. And we go out into this big main aisle, and we hear, like, and we're like looking around, it's echoing all over the place. We're like, what the hell is that? And we look, at the end of the hall was Tom Savini. At his booth, giant Savini booth, screaming my name because he saw me. So we go down there, he's like, hey man, give him a hug, you know. And he introduced me to this young kid that was hanging out with him for the day. He's like, take care of this kid for the day. I want to introduce you to, and I can't remember, it wasn't Slade Stallone, but it was Slade Stallone's younger brother, I think. So it was one of Sylvester Stallone's kids. And he was like, oh, you're my favorite zombie in that movie. And I'm like, holy crap. This is Sylvester Stallone's kid. Likes me. So that was fun. But I used to go to a lot of conferences, but I've never done a horror conference as a guest signing stuff. So before yesterday, there were probably 2 or 3 people in the whole world who had my autograph on a poster or on a headshot or anything. So this has been really, really fun. And it's just amazing. You guys are just, you know, the excitement and the thrill talking about when you first saw the film and saw this ridiculous truck zombie. And again, I was on it for like 2 days. And it was just a lot of fun. And here I am on a stage, getting, you know, makeup on.
Any more questions?
So when you, the other zombies in 990, or when Tom took the eyes away, because you guys were in contact lenses, did those contacts, did they start to, I know you couldn't see anything with them then, did that start to irritate your eyes, bother your eyes after a while, painful and irritating at all?
They never did get paid. They were fine. They were just, I mean, I could see vaguely, but I couldn't see very much. Now later I was in a film called Rudyard Kipling's The Second Jungle Book, Mowgli and Baloo. And I spent 2 months in the longest title ever, right? I spent 2 months in Sri Lanka shooting that. And we did a lot of night shoots, and they put these contacts in that had pupils in them, unlike the ones in Night of the Living Dead, but they were really small. So on the night shoots, I couldn't see nothing. It was insane. My pupils would get big, but it didn't matter because the pupils in those were tiny. And they literally had to have people lead me around and tell me where a step was coming. And then I'd have to act with actors that I could not really tell where they are. I mean, I could sort of vaguely, but that was crazy. We did that for like weeks and weeks on end. Sometimes it would rain and we'd have to pretend it wasn't raining, because the way they would do the lighting, you wouldn't be able to tell that it was raining. Crazy what they could do. No, they were never painful. I just couldn't see it.
So, since they don't have questions, I think we have a question for them.
Okay.
So first, who here has everybody here seen Night of the Living Dead 90? Raise your hand if you haven't. You haven't?
If you haven't.
Okay, so everybody's seen it. So what Dirk wants to know is, who's your favorite zombie in the movie? Now you don't have to say him, we want honest answers, right? We're gonna start here.
Like the one,
I can't hear her, Jim.
it's
You've
not on.
seen the movie, right?
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Which one?
I saw it last night.
Yeah.
I like the ones near the truck. Glass is exploding.
Was there one specific one that
No,
stood out
just
to you?
a group. No.
Sorry.
The group near the truck?
Just the group around the truck as it catches fire.
When it
and
explodes and
blows
they're
up.
pulling the body, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
No, I'm gonna have to say it's
Where's Dirk?
because it was just so unbelievable.
I like Dirk as well. That's why I asked him. Your favorite zombie from Night?
I think he looked better cold though, but like.
Like the big fat guy in overalls.
Yeah, he
Uncle Reed.
trying to match what he had hair-wise, and he just had a little bit around the side.
The one who goes after
Little bit on
Barbara
the top.
and she hits with the
I can take all that out.
Uncle Reed. We got two Uncle Reeds now.
You're so hot.
What are you doing after the show?
Oh no, but then, and you.
The old lady with the doll. That was nice. What,
Tom Mosley?
no,
Tom is hot.
she likes the cemetery zombie. I'm forgetting his name. Greg Punk. What can you?
Oh, yeah,
So
Greg
he
Punk.
couldn't come. He's working. We wanted him to be at the show with Dirk, but he couldn't come. But Dirk knows him. What can you tell us about Greg? Tell the audience
Greg
about
is awesome. I saw him quite a bit when I was in Los Angeles. I haven't seen him since. But yeah, he's awesome. He really wanted to come, but he's on a film shoot. He's working right now. Otherwise, he would be here. One of the best things about coming to this is that I used to hang out with Everett Ralph a little bit in LA, and I have not seen him since I left in 2000. It's been 22 years. So just to be able to reconnect with him and talk to Patricia and Tony and Tom. Now Tom I've had a little bit of social media interaction with, but and there was an anniversary thing we did online where Patricia was there, but stuff the same. It's just been really, really cool. And to see Greg Nicotero, I haven't seen Greg since I left LA too. You know, it's just so fun to reconnect. And what's weird is that once we spend half an hour or an hour catching up, it's like no time has passed. Even though it's been over 30 years, for some of us, it's like no time has passed. So this has been the best part. Besides meeting the fans, talking to folks who really love the show, and the truck zombie, it's been the best part. That's been the second best part. And meeting Jim Cirinelli.
Now that's low on the list. Were there any? Were you there any days that or any of Greg's scenes in the cemetery zombie? Was there any overlap?
Not when he was shooting. No. But he was working on the film too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did see him, and I wasn't on any of the days when I think. No, wait, Patricia was working one of the days when I was there because it was the whole day with the house on the porch and all that. And since it was a fairly low budget, we were shooting pretty quickly, so there were a lot of things going on at once. So even though I was on for 2 days, there were other things happening too. It wasn't just me.
So who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
Okay, I need to do these prosthetic on his nose that can't be talking and moving, so we have to have some radio silence for a while, for a few minutes.
Don't listen to this anymore. Now the audience is going to talk anyway. So who's your favorite zombie?
I was going to say the naked one, but I can't remember if that's another breed.
Yeah, there is, and I think she has the morph too. Yeah, there's just one shot of her kind of stumbling up towards the naked female.
I wanted to say the zombie that's beating the body from the separate painting.
Yeah, the one zombie picks up because the hand comes over the balcony, right? And they kind of roll it up in a rug along with the Uncle Regis body. They throw it outside, and one zombie finds it, and then you're talking about the one who first finds it. Another one grabs it and starts running away with it. So why do you like that scene? Your favorite zombie from Night 90? I asked if anybody did not see the film. You did not raise your hand. Well, so what's your next movie you're going to be watching? There you go.
Rage.
I like Greg Monkey and the zombie lady that had the baby doll.
What was it about that scene that you just affected?
Yeah, just like what you was alive and everything happened.
Let's ask a few. Who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
Rage as well. Yeah.
The Regis Poppin. Who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
No comment.
I think the two that are fighting.
Yeah. Well, he can't talk. I was going to ask him if he knows that story. Your favorite zombie?
Yeah, it's Dirk, but mainly because we were so young when we watched it, and he was like the predictable one that didn't move, so you didn't have to worry about him coming up to scare you again. It was like, oh, he's safe.
But he was, to me, what was so effective about his zombie was he was that, that's really how they were in the original. They were kind of ineffectual until you let your guard down and they just keep coming. I like that. I don't like ferocious zombies. To me, that kind of ruins the whole thing.
I like him and Greg Cemetery.
The window zombie.
Which one?
Window.
The very thin guy?
One of our buddies, Fred Koala.
Fred Koala.
And which window zombie is there? There were several.
He came in a window halfway through. Went in there. No,
Okay, so he's informing me that he's here. The zombie that this gentleman likes is in Hall D. He was one of the zombies. Is this at the end when they're coming through? So yeah, at the end when they're overrunning the house, he's the long-haired zombie who comes through the window.
I really don't have a favorite.
But was there one? Doesn't have to be a favorite. Was there one that had more impact or was more effectual?
Maybe not a new one, but I do remember the old one where it was upstairs.
In the original. Oh, yeah, that's the 1990. You're talking about the guy that falls over the banister. So we have another Uncle Reach. Okay. Your favorite zombie from 1990? Sarah. Which one? Sarah. Oh, Sarah. There we go. I didn't think of that. Good call. Your favorite zombie from 1990?
It's Tony Todd.
Oh, yes, another one, Tony Todd. And he comes back.
I'd have to say the zombie that looks like the Nosferatu throwback, the anorexic one.
Who comes through the window and gets shot at. Yeah, that was a cool gag. Least favorite? Okay, so why is he your least favorite?
Because he was terrifying.
So zombies aren't supposed to be terrifying. Your favorite zombie?
I was also going to say the really emaciated, jaundiced-looking one in the window.
I like, you've already said my top three, so I feel like this is a great zombie, Uncle Reach, and
All of them were great because their movements. I don't know if Tim Carrier worked with everybody there on the zombie movements, but the way they jerked and walked some messed up and can't take away their eyes just made it completely different. But I would say Dowd's mom first, and then Sarah Cooper, Dirk, and then Dirk.
Little Sarah Cooper. I like the cemetery zombie with the flowers and the suits that where you can tell just come out of its
I like the truck zombie, especially because of the mangled legs that way they're twisted up the edges to it.
Probably Sarah Cooper. I like the woman with the baby doll.
Cemetery zombie.
Definitely the naked lady zombie.
The cemetery zombie that had already been, his clothes kind of came off and he was walking the
So you haven't seen it? So you like the same one? Your favorite zombie?
That was mine too.
So that was he's got the cut open chest like the autopsy, and then his suit comes off because it's split down the back. That's Tim Carrier who they mentioned. And he was not only that zombie, but he also was the one who coached all the other living dead on how to behave. Who's your favorite zombie?
About Barbara's mom.
Oh yeah, so that's the one that's it's cut out of the film, right? Yeah, and then she was supposed to appear in the window and appear to Barbara as her mother, and then I guess she hesitates to shoot her. Right? Your favorite zombie?
Uncle Ridge.
How about you?
Cemetery.
Where have you folks come from? From France. Wow. Here you go, Dirk. You have fans from France.
Yeah, I met him from Germany, bunch from the UK, from Quebec, and now France. Even better.
Your favorite zombie?
My super.
From The Walking Dead? Okay, that's good, but how about from Living Dead 90?
No, that's good.
Good? Okay. Your favorite zombie? Sarah. Sarah.
Favorite zombie is the skinny one that comes to the window that's all men around them.
Your favorite zombie from Night?
I gotta go with Ben. The way he looked at Barbara right before he got shot.
That's pretty effective. That Ben and Helen come back as zombies, or as living dead. That's pretty cool. The original really doesn't have that. You know, we don't have it with Harry Cooper comes back, but it's not. You know, it's more terrifying that Ben's trapped in the cell with corpses that are reanimated. Your favorite zombies from Night of the Living?
The cemetery zombie. And like, can I ask a question as well?
Sure.
I just wanted to know your opinion when you found out that they were remaking this in the 90s, like when you first found out that they were gonna redo it.
Me, right? Okay. I love the first one. I mean, I was a film student, so I watched all this independent stuff, everything I could. And I think, you know, I was a little close to it because my buddy Nick was going to get to be the assistant director on it. And I had never met Tom or George or anybody at that time, but I was a big fan. And I was fine with it. I don't remember thinking, oh, why would anybody want to do that? Well, now I've done that since with other remakes. But I didn't with that one. I was kind of excited about it. At that time, I didn't know I was going to be in it, but yeah.
Your favorite zombie? Another Uncle Reed. I have to keep a track, but I think Uncle Reed is pretty popular. Sarah.
Cemetery.
In the remake, Ben, the original Sarah.
Cemetery. She's even got him on his phone here, on her phone here. Yeah. Dirk. Your favorite zombie?
Ah, that little skin and bones guy that I think he used to be a taxi driver. Yeah.
Your favorite zombie from Night 90?
What that guy said.
The skinny zombie.
Oh, definitely this zombie.
Definitely Dirk. What was effective about Dirk? What did you like about his scene?
Just the stunt work and then just all twisted up, all messed up.
He's all messed up. Further messed up because Ben hit him with a truck. Who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
The autopsy zombie.
The guy walking in the cemetery for his the clothes. No, that's so that was Tim Carrier, and he was the gentleman who did the coaching of all the other extras on how to act like the living dead. Dirk, was Tim Carrier there when you were filming?
I don't remember. I don't think so, but maybe. Yeah.
And then Greg Funk was the cemetery zombie that gets the wreath that Johnny and Barbara are bringing. He gets that thrust into his chest. Your favorite zombie from Night 90? How about your favorite zombie? Oh yeah. You folks, who's your favorite zombie from Night 90?
Uncle Reed.
Reed, another Uncle Reed. How about your
Cemetery.
Terry? Has she seen it? She's very busy. How about yours? You haven't seen it? You got nothing. The round up here is really tough. I don't know if I want to be back here. I'd rather talk to some zombies. Who's your favorite zombie from Night 90? Haven't seen it? Oh man, I better cut my losses. How about you guys? Have you seen it? You've only seen the original? Okay, so the original, you have a favorite zombie from that? Actually, in the original, they didn't call them zombies, they were ghouls. Do you have a favorite ghoul?
Jack Russo.
When he comes through the kitchen and goes after Barbara and he gets the tire iron in his head.
He's at the beginning too, right?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
Actually, in the original night, Jack played a bunch of small parts. He actually is the zombie that puts the rock through the headlights. But then when Ben goes out to put the tire iron in those guys' head, it's different. It's a different person. So there's a lot of jumping around like that because it was low budget. But Jack is actually the guy. If you watch really close, you can see it's Jack who throws the rock through the headlights. But yeah, that he's the one who comes in the house after Barbara, and then Ben puts the tire. Do you have a favorite zombie?
Jack as well.
So we have the Jack Russo fan club over here. You know Jack is here, so you can go see him. Who's your favorite zombie?
The one that climbs on the back of the truck.
When they're trying to gas up the truck. And now that one, correct me if I'm wrong, that one they were going to do a big head shot, right? And then it was cut. They did it, but that's not the one that ends. That's not the shot that ends up in the cut of the movie.
It was a decision that they made to leave it up to your own perception.
Yeah, he's kind of a creepy looking zombie. He's like pretty deteriorated, if I remember this, and it kind of like freaks Tom out and freaks the audience out. Yeah, that is a good one. I asked you already, right? Okay. So that was rougher than I thought it was going to be, but we got through everybody. If you want to.
Okay, so right now, how many people have bought the photo op already? Show of hands. Okay, if you haven't bought the photo op, okay, here, it's up to 4 people. Up to 4 people for the photo op. It's obviously the truck crash zombie set up right there. It is $75 for up to 4 people. So it is 4 people for that. It's a pro photo op with Dirk Ashton as the truck zombie. And he'll be constructed right there. And like I'm saying, it's up to 4 people. This includes an 8x10 printed photo and a digital photo copy. There'll be 1 session on this today, and that is it. So there you go. And see, Angela and Hall B, E. Okay, Angela's going to be coming out now. So if you want to buy your photo op, hand Angela the money, and Des will be the photographer. So once again, anyone who hasn't bought the photo op, there's Angela right there. Is it cash, card, and both? It is cash and card, so you can do either one. We're still finishing them up, so yeah, it's still going to be a little bit. But a good time for you guys to get in on this. The photo is good for up to 4 people. It's $75 to see Angela right here. But once again, it's going to be a digital copy as well as a printed 8x10. And once again, this is the only time we're going to be doing this. So once again, if you did not get your photo op, pay for your photo op yet, you can right here. It's good for up to 4 people. $75. It includes an 8x10 printed photo and a digital photocopy.
Oh yeah.
When I was there, they still made shirts like that every year, but then like 92, they like started doing stitched.
Oh, is that what it was?
Shoes are like stitched songs. Yeah. But like my first year, it's still like
Yeah.
Okay, so I tried to match it as, close to the movie as possible. And now we're gonna stick them in the hood and screw them up. Okay? After you, sir.
This way, this way.
Well, let's see. You're gonna be able to do that later.
Once again, if you haven't purchased your professional photo op, you can right here. It's $75 for up to 4 people in the picture. You get a 8x10 printed photo and a digital copy. So once again, that is happening right over there. Once again, if you want your professional photo op on this, please step over to this way. It's good for up to 4 people.
It is a once in a lifetime chance. This will never be done again. So if you would like to get a photo op, this is your only opportunity. Once in a lifetime.
You heard her, once in a lifetime. Takes both cash and card. It's right over here.
Feels good. I haven't seen that one before. You just cracked my back.
So they didn't start yet, right?
Not yet, too long. Yeah.
I have to just run upstairs and take care of see Tim DeLeo off, and I'll be back down.
All
But
right.
yeah, if they start, just keep track of how many.
All right.
So this is the last call for the professional photo op. It's good for up to 4 people. This will not be replicated ever again. You will get an 8x10 printed photo as well as a digital copy. And it's good for up to 4 people. This is the last call.
What?
Are you going to get the photo op? You need to just move over that way now.
This way?
Yeah. You have to come over this way.
Okay, that's
Right.
fine. I just wanted to get it set up.
You have, no, you have
What,
to
Mike?
video the whole thing. You do go wherever you need to be. Yeah, I want you to film everything, right? From wherever you need to be.
Real photographs. Nobody can take
So if you haven't paid for your photo op and you have your ticket, you'll be lining up over here.
Wait, who's?
So, okay.
No other